We had a local set of guys that did a video called Gangsters and Thugs a while back, and it depicted a part of our city that gave you insight in on what our city potentially could be. See, what it is about our city is tricky. Our city has two phases to it, and sometimes if you're outside, you might only get a chance to see one phase. You can see it has a ritzy, prestigious side to it. It's known nationwide what Palm Beach County is to the nation, or its scale in the upper way of life. And we're depicted as a rich city in one light. In another light, it's an urban city, but it could be camouflaged if you're not aware of how the city works. What I mean is, our city, to the less fortunate, thrives off greed because of what happens on the other side of the bridge, or the more fortunate places in our city. We have the privilege and the privy to see any and everything our heart desires at any given day, at any given second. Now, what this does is cause the less fortunate people in the city to desire these things and do almost anything and go to the extreme to have these things. And what it does is it creates a funnel of jealousy and greed. And this is what makes our city extremely dangerous. We have a level of sophistication here that in some parts of the city you wouldn't see, but in other parts of the city, that's all you see. It depends on how you live your life, or where you visit, or where you go here. It's not just one store here. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? Because there's some things you just can't see. It's old money here. And there's people that's been here so long that they'll do anything to try to catch up. So greed feeds this city, which is a horrible thing. I think that's the bad part of it. But the aesthetics is a very beautiful place to come. You would never know that the things that happen here because it doesn't appear to have that type of energy. So coming into the role of Coy is just that. Coy is a person he's a person that's in the in-between of everything. He's lived his life one way, and he's trying to see his life going in another direction. And Palm Beach is just that. It's a time, man, like our murder rate in our city was ridiculous. I don't like to praise or glorify any ignorance or anything like that, so I'll talk about it briefly. But and what if not being a place for us to exercise our craft, film? It's so easy to get trapped up into that. Palm Beach really doesn't offer too much, but it's a retirement scene. Either you got it or you don't. There's no in between there. The mentality follows.
My mom had this huge rock bed growing up. Weeds would grow all crazy through the cracks, turn everything all ugly, you know? Now, moms wouldn't let me use the chemicals on the garden weeds. I had to pick those by hand. But on that rock bed, she'll let me have at it with those chemicals. I still remember the first week I sprayed the weeds. Nothing really happened. The weeds popped right back up. The following week, same thing. But after a while, I noticed the weeds were barely growing, if at all. At first I was happy. I felt like they went on to somebody else's yard to torture, you know? But I think that's when it hit me. It wasn't that they didn't want to grow. It was that they couldn't grow. I poisoned the ground. And that's what it always felt like in my hood, you know? A whole bunch of poison dumped on our heads, saturating the ground for generations. And they wonder why we still can't grow.